What's up, everybody? Adrian here. So if you're new here, my name is Adrian, and today I thought that I would just go ahead and basically just make a story time video, really just to have an opportunity to reflect on everything that's happened this summer. And so I guess I'll just start from go ahead and just get into it and start from the very beginning. I had this internship right outside of Boston this summer at an institution, and I really wanted this summer to be different than any other summer that I've had before. And so one of the things that I did to kind of challenge myself, but then also to try and keep myself in that frame of mind, was basically I adopted an alter ego. And so at work, everybody knew me as Adrian, but then everybody outside of work and the interns that I was close with, they knew me as Dree. And so just to kind of make this make sense a little bit more, since y'all aren't in my head, if I were to describe each personality, they have some unique traits that are different, but kind of were transferable back and forth because I'm still one human being. And so if I were to describe Adrian is someone that everybody sees on a daily basis. So this is the human being that is super methodical. I plan a lot of things out. I literally had a life plan where I was supposed to get married. Well, I want to get married by 28 and then have kids by 32. And then somewhere in that, have a house, have my doctorate by 29. All that kind of stuff for the American dream kind of life. So we're going to pause that plan, methodical kind of thing for later. But Adrian's also someone, when I'm in grad school, I'm about my stuff. I appreciate that my grad school is not in a big city because there aren't as many distractions. So I like to get my work done. I don't turn in things late, and I try my very best not to procrastinate, right? So Adrian is very much so about her stuff. But Adrian's life also revolves largely around higher education. And then there's Dree. So if I were to describe Dree is someone who is more spontaneous and adventurous. So I took a lot more risks than I normally would, and they paid off in the end. Part of Adrian and Dree is that I'm very introspective, but I think that I had the opportunity this summer to think a lot more deeply than I ever have before because of the experiences that I went through as Adrian, and I'll kind of get into that a little bit later. And so, yeah, I would describe Dree as more spontaneous and also vulnerable. So I shared parts of my life with people that I've never shared before. And in that process, allowing people in and hearing my story validated my experiences so much more. And it turned into a thing where it was what I'm experiencing, someone else has probably experienced, and or the person that I was talking to, they've experienced the same thing as well. And I'm it's just not in my head. I'm not tripping right now. So with that, with me allowing myself to be more vulnerable, I learned more about myself and other people. So that's basically the best way that I can really describe the difference between Adrian and Dree. Honestly, I like Dree. Even though Adrian is still there, I'm going to try and bring Dree into Adrian. I just might start going by Dree because I kind of like it and it brings back good memories. But anyway, I digress. Now I just want to share how me adopting this kind of persona influenced me so much. And I'll probably be inserting a lot of clips just of all the different things that I did over the summer. One of the things that was really awesome for me to do and something that I needed was I went to concerts. So I had never been to a music festival before, and so I went to Boston Calling, and even though I've only been to one music festival, like, that was the best music festival I think I could have gone to, and that was something that I needed for myself. I saw Anderson .Paak super close, Tame Impala was there, but yeah. So another concert that I went to was Lion Babe. If you don't know who they are, their entire energy and their aura is just a whole mood. Like, I am a very big R&B head, and I will even link below some of the playlists that I've created so you can kind of get an idea of the type of music that I listen to. But their music in that concert was so on point. And then I also went to New York City over the summer, so another like spontaneous trip. And I got to see Joy Pastel, Levin Kali, Lee Kelly 47, and then Mick Jenkins. I got to see them for free in Brooklyn, and that was dope too. But then also, you know, I was in Boston every weekend, and I met someone there that changed my perspective on so many things. And he was one of the people that validated me the most. And I'm not gonna share who he is. I know you're probably curious. I'm sorry, I'm trash. But this person validated me and listened to me and allowed me to process without the fear of judgment. And that was something that was so instrumental in me figuring so much out about myself. So now I kind of just want to talk about how this basically alter ego I adapted interacted with me, you know, having so many epiphanies while I was in Boston. For one, if you watched my last video, so my A Day in the Life video of me at work, I talked a little bit about Intergroup Dialogue. So I want to talk about that and unpack that a little bit more, mostly because it was a very loaded conversation series for me, because with the Intergroup Dialogues, everything, I was also a sociology major in undergrad. And so everything that was talked about in the intergroup dialogues, I already knew. And a lot of the things that were discussed, I had known since I was like a teenager or a kid when I first realized that like race was, when I realized that I was Black, basically. And so the intergroup dialogues are more so to have that space, but it's also a space where some people are realizing that race is real and racism isn't dead, and this is how racism looks today, and what can we do to support people, basically. And so because I already had that surface level kind of knowledge, I was then able to process other heavy things. I kind of went through a quarter life crisis because I realized basically that society wasn't built for me. That's so weird to say out loud, but society wasn't built for me or people of color. And so then it turned into an internal conversation of how do I then move through the world, and what do I want my life to look like? Or what will my life look like outside of education? One of the most influential pieces of advice that I've ever gotten was the most interesting thing about you can't be what you do inside the classroom. And so I then started to think like, who the heck am I outside of education? And to be honest, like when I first thought about that, I would not have been able to tell you. And so that is part of the reason why DRE is so important, because that then forced me to start having that conversation with myself and figure out, so who am I outside of education? And what do I like to do? And what kind of people do I want to surround myself with? And what gives me energy, what depletes my energy, what are the things that I tolerate, and what are the things that I can no longer tolerate for various reasons. And so that really just started a conversation for me. So really it's a combination of me allowing myself to be Dre, and then everything else fell into place when I think about it. So the reason why my perspective changed so much was because I allowed people in my life who were genuinely wanting to get to know me, which then forced me to get to know myself. That's wild. I literally just drew that conclusion. It wasn't me. My alter ego was me. It was always there, but it was always something that I thought was frowned. Like, I thought that I couldn't be the real me, and I felt like if people knew the real me, that they wouldn't like me. Whoa. Oh, I just got chills thinking about that, because that was really the mindset that I was in. Like, and that's so sad, and I feel like so many people are probably in that same mindset too. And honestly, sometimes it takes people seeing something in you to see something in yourself. Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, well, happiness always starts with you and things like that. But until you can see what that happiness looks like, you only have your frame of reference that you've always had. And so, like, right now, I'm in a completely different headspace where I'm basically like, this is me, and I love who I am. And honestly, that's all that really matters. To kind of sum everything up, I adopted an alter ego, which then put people in my life that forced me to see things differently and process things differently. And as a result, like, my entire perspective has changed so much. And I'm excited to take y'all along this journey, because honestly, I don't know where this journey is going to take me anymore. I don't know if I'm going to take the original path that I was saying that I was going to take. Life doesn't have to be linear. And I don't think life is linear. This is also the first time in a long time where one of my favorite quotes is that you're never stuck. And I feel like this is an example of me not feeling like I'm stuck. Yeah, I'm just excited to see what this life is about to look like. And I hope that you'll join me on this journey. That's all that I have for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and like this video, and I will see you in the next video.